Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to another exciting episode of Psychology Talks. And it is a place where we explore science of human behavior, leadership, and mindset that shape extraordinary impact. And I'm your host, Amreen Nadeem. I'm so honored today to have Colette Martin with us as our guest. She is a courageous advocate for survivors of domestic violence, and she had some courageous, brave story that she's going to share with us today. And it's not easy to survive those times when you are surrounded by some people who will not let you think that what is your current worth, and they keep on telling you that you are not worthy of living. And then in that environment you need a courage to speak, and it is not easy. It is definitely not easy. But what Colette has survived is much more than that. She's missed like the murder attempt by her partner, and she was living in severe traumatic and very dangerous environment. But she found the courage to come out from this, and now she's sharing her story with lots of other women who might be suffering in silence and might be facing the same kind of experience or having the same relationship. But when she shares her story, they find the courage that to come up and to gain survival from the kind of relationship or experience they're having. So anyways, thank you so much for joining us, Colette. It's really an honor to have you with us today.
And it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you. I actually gave a very brief introduction that, but I know that your story is very powerful. It's sad, but it is something. It gave you some mission, and that's what you're doing. That you're saving lots and lots of other women. So, anyways, just tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Colette Martin, and I'm a survivor of intimate partner violence. 28 years ago, I was almost murdered by my ex partner. And it took a lot of years for me to get to this point. I didn't heal overnight, and still have a lot of healing to do. For the first 10 years, um, I don't think I even knew where I was. And to see today how far I've come, very, very proud of myself.
Yeah, I know that this is, we are all proud of you. I mean, especially because you are giving courage to other women to speak up, and you're saving lots and lots of other women like this. So I know, just tell us that where are you from? You're based in Canada, right?
Yes, I'm from New Brunswick, Canada,
Yeah.
and I live in a small town here, very small town, and very hard to talk about um, my attempted murder uh,
Yeah.
because nobody wanted to hear about it. And I did not want to talk about it because I didn't want to re traumatize my family
Yeah.
or my friends. And it was very, very hard. I
Yeah.
actually shared my story for the first time last March, 27 years after I shared it with my community.
Oh, that's really traumatic. Actually, it's like a lot of people don't even realize that when they are in that kind of relationship, that what's happening to them. So just tell us a bit about that. First of all, when did you realize that this relationship is not going in the right direction, or you were thinking that okay, it's going, you're trying to make some attempt to work out the relationship. What happened? What were your strategies, or what were your thinking at that point in time?
Well, I met this guy back in 1996, and at the beginning, everything was fine, or so I thought so.
Mm.
I had never realized that I was in a dangerous relationship. At the beginning, all we did was travel to his hockey on the weekends. I'd only see him once a week
Mm.
because he lived in a different city, and
Mhm.
so I would only see him on the weekends when we would go to his hockey tournaments and stuff.
Okay.
Um, After dating him for about 7 months, he convinced me that he should move in with me for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as soon as he moved in, I started seeing, you know, some signs that something wasn't right. Like he was trying to control my whole life and isolate me from my family. And he had something to do to get me away from my family because we were really, really close. And
Mm-hmm.
um, after dating him for about 7 months, I let him move in with me. He lived with me for a couple of months and then I kicked him out because things were getting out of hand. Um, so I kicked him out of my house and he left, and I thought that everything was good.
Yeah.
I did not see the red flags because I was never educated on any kind of domestic violence. And after a while, when I started seeing it, I thought, no, no. So
Mm-hmm.
I got rid of him. I kicked him out of my house. And 7 months later, he came back at night when I was sleeping. And that's the night he tried to kill me. That was the most horrific night of my life.
And then like, so just one thing I just thought of, that, you said that you did realize that there's something off, but you're still trying to ignore. What was the reason that you were thinking that? Do you think that it was maybe your fault, or you think that he may get better? So, what were the red flags that you were avoiding or ignoring at that
Well, he was controlling every aspect of my life, like controlling what I ate. He would um, tell me that I had to exercise all the time. And, he would make it seem like he was doing it for me, for my health, but it was a
time?
way of controlling. He controlled what I ate. Um, he hated my family. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't want nobody around. And he always used to tell me that we just needed us, just the
Mm-hmm.
little family that we did have.
Mm-hmm.
I had a son from a previous relationship, so it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
his son. Thank God my son wasn't there. Summer that I let him move in and then I kicked him out.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I thought that once I got rid of him that he would be gone. And I thought, but then he moved away. He went back to Montreal, where he was from, and
Mm-hmm.
then he came back. This was probably in October, November, and in January he moved back to Moncton and had a new girlfriend and moved in with her. So I thought that I was scot free. And then he started calling all the time and started writing me love letters, and still, like, I didn't want to hurt him, but I kept telling him that it was over and that there was no chance that we were going to get back together. I
Mm-hmm.
was at the in the best time of my life. I traveled for work. I loved
Mm-hmm.
my job. I got to meet so many people and I just love what I did, and that's what I was going to focus on, my son and myself.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like that. And even though he went on with his life, he still didn't want me to go on with mine. Uh,
Oh.
and so this is why he came back and tried to kill
Mm-hmm.
me. He
Oh.
told me that night that if he couldn't have me, nobody else would.
Oh.
Um, yeah. So,
So that's really sad that how these narcissists actually play that they're trying to actually control, as you said, all the aspects of your life. They're trying to isolate you from the ones that you love or something, and then I think they take it more on their ego, that you don't have any say or authority. So that's how they are controlling. But in those times, what do you think, what is the right way to actually deal with that? How you can actually ignore, or how you can overcome with that, and how you can deal with that?
well, you have to first believe in yourself and want better for yourself. And I had gone through a lot of trauma in my life, and I was doing really good, and there's no way that I was going to let somebody take over my life. And this is how I decided. If you're in a relationship like I was in, listen to your gut, listen to that little voice inside. If something feels like it's not right, it's not right, it probably isn't. Um, Reach out to local shelters, crisis lines, trust advocates, build a safety plan, learn your rights, and surround yourself with people who lift you up, not
Mhm.
silence
Yes, I mean that's very. This is so important to actually. You said that surround yourself with the right people, because as we are saying that the biggest weapon of narcissists, that they isolate you from the one uh, with whom you can actually trust, or you can find any help or support. So they want, what they want is that they want to make you dependent entirely onto them. So like so you don't have any say to them, right? But the only way to, I think, as you said, to survive is to find a courage to stay connected with your loved one, because they are your biggest support. And you need to find out sometimes, in especially in our culture, the eastern side, mostly the women either are dependent on their family, like mother and siblings, or they have friends, but mostly they are in the family ones. But in some cases, what we experience in eastern side of this world, that that lots of like mothers and you can say the family itself, they actually push women to actually go and live with the with, especially if the abuser is the husband, so they actually want them to live with them because of the societal norms and societal expectations. So in that case, women here are in more danger because they don't have any choice. But in that case, what they can do is that they need to find again the find right people at least. It's because nowadays, especially with the internet and everything, they can find. And even there are always someone, at least you have one person in your life with whom you can actually trust or speak to. Or if even if not, then try to find out at least one person, so who can help them out. I think this is very important, right?
Yeah, my ex was very, very threatened by the strong woman that I was. Like, I didn't need him. Like, I had my own job. Like, I had a good job, had my own money, I had my own place. So I didn't need him, and he was really threatened by that. And it's like you said, that's what narcissists are threatened by. They don't
Mhm.
like strong women. They
Yeah.
want you to depend on them, and I wasn't having it. Like, that was
Mhm.
the most beautiful time of my life back then
Mhm.
because I felt like, like a strong woman, and I didn't need somebody to take care of me. I was taking care of myself, and I was a single mom, and I took care of my son by
Mhm.
myself, and I was very proud of myself, and he was really threatened by that.
Yeah.
Even though he had moved on with his life, he just didn't want me to move on with mine. I
Yeah.
remember that night, he broke down my door and he told me, "Tonight's the night you're going to die." And I
Oh.
still see him standing there. And all these years later, of course, I have the flashbacks every day. And, it wasn't easy to go through that stuff. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm all better
Mhm.
and that I healed overnight because that's not true.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of, I have to trick my brain into to doing these little tricks you know, to want to get up in the morning. I turn the music on and I dance a bit, or I if I think of something negative, then I go back to that night and I think how hard I fought to live and how
Yeah.
fast I ran. And that just turns me right over. Because why would I fight so hard to live to just give up? And I did that for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I figured that if it was a lot easier for me to just lay there and give up, but I had to get up and fight. Uh, that night, I ran so fast and I fought so hard to live. There was no way that I was just going to give up like that. And I have children to take care of, and
Yeah.
my kids are my life. And I, uh, yeah, there was no way I was going to give up. So I fought hard. And until this day, like even like all the comments and stuff and everything, everybody, and it doesn't matter how you think that everybody would be happy for you, that you've become this strong, powerful woman, which I am today. It took
Mm,
me a lot of years to believe that myself, you know, and I just I just needed to keep going, and I figured that I could be the person that I didn't have 28 years ago. And not because I didn't get no help. Like I had lots of doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, and they were the best. And I'm not sure I'd be here today if it wasn't for them.
mm,
But
mm,
it's like we know, like nobody can do it for you. You can get all the help in the world, but you need to get up and stand up for yourself. And I think that's really important. Uh,
yeah.
and I always say that if I did it, you can too. I know that I'm very strong, uh, but if we start thinking positive and looking for the resources that are available, like those things weren't available when this happened to me 28
Mm,
years ago, and now it's full. Like they can do all kinds of stuff for us, and
mm,
I really believe that anybody can get to this point if you don't give up on yourself and you keep going. Um,
yeah.
what really helped me was in 2019, my mom was dying of pancreatic cancer. And she told me before she died that I needed to get rid of everything that hurt me. And at the time, I wasn't sure what she meant.
Mm,
Um, but I knew my mom, with all her wisdom, I knew that I'd figure it out. And that was,
mm,
I need to figure out what she meant. And my son and I used to talk about, you know, what I could do to make a difference and what I could do to heal myself at the same time. And we just he came up one day and said, Mom, we got to start writing your story and publish a book and we'll share it with the world. And the one thing that was so beautiful that started all of this too was that um, I made a little video of myself saying and um, that I was almost murdered. I made it through, and so can you. And I put it on Instagram. No, I hadn't done anything like that. The only thing I had was Facebook. And
mm,
put that little video on there. And then I got a call from a lady in Australia. And she said, you need to come to our event. So I went, and they had started an event called the Y Campaign, and she was an ambassador. And so I joined. I didn't even realize that it was 12 hours difference from here to Australia. And
mm,
I started going to the events, and in a month after that, I became a volunteer for the Y Campaign. And in August of that same year, I was on there sharing my story. And it's unbelievable the people you can help, the people that listen. And these women that message me all the time, they always say, like, if you've been through all of that and you're
mm,
able to share your story and fight back, we can do it too. And I think that that's how it lights the way
yeah.
for other
Yeah.
men, children, when they see one person stand up and
Yeah.
say do it, then they can do it too. And I think it gives them the permission to say, I can do this too. And this is how all of this happened. And it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, absolutely amazing. I mean, literally, this is something that that's why I actually wanted to have you on my podcast too, because lots of women here listening to your story, and they will find the courage that okay, yes, if you can do it, then they can do it too. So just tell us that it's not easy, especially even when you are going through the abuse, or even after you're going through the abuse, how actually you need to change, how you can change the mindset when you have lived that kind of trauma. How can you, what practical tips you can give to the women that who might be actually going through it or they have gone through such kind of abuse?
You just have to start believing in yourself, believing that you can do all these hard things. Um, you know, it took me a lot of years to figure this out, and it's not easy. You just have to fight back, and the shame is not yours. You didn't do anything. And for me, like the story that I think, how they say like scars heal, but words, well, not even 12 hours after I was almost murdered, I was sent to another hospital to get treated. And what happened to me, I would never want anyone to go through. So, this is actually why it's so important for me to share, because I was laying on a stretcher, and the plastic surgeon that I went to see was supposed to help me. And he asked me what I did to deserve what I got. Then
Oh,
told me that things like these don't happen to good girls. And then
yeah,
held the side of my face and told me that what a beautiful face I had and what a scar I would have the rest of my life. And, all these years, my wounds healed, but those words never left me. And
yeah,
it took a long time for me to not blame myself anymore and not feel like I was guilty of doing anything wrong. Like I did everything wrong. People have to stop asking victims why they didn't leave, what they did to deserve that, and tell them that they're not a good girl. Like I
yeah,
did everything right. I didn't deserve to be treated like that. And it was so painful for me to even think that that doctor knew what I had gone through.
mm,
All these years, I just tried to trick my brain to thinking, well, he didn't know what you had lived through. So that's how he said all these things.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I asked the attending doctor at the first hospital, and he told me that my file went with me, but it was too painful for me, you know, to think that somebody would want to hurt another human in that way
yeah,
and blame me and punish me for something I didn't do. I
yeah,
didn't do nothing.
yeah,
I was very good to him.
mm,
And and then I thought when I left that hospital and went back to the hospital where I was admitted, um, I thought to myself, well, it was just having a bad day. So I had to go back in 3 days to get the stitches removed. And my throat was like cut from one end to the other. And when I got back there, he looked at me and he told me that it was only going to get worse. And I looked at him and said, why are you talking to me like this?
yeah,
You don't know me. You don't know my story.
yeah,
And he said, well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that was the last time I saw him. As soon as I left there, I went back to the hospital where I was treated for trauma for 10 days. And then I went home. And when I went home, I went to see my family doctor and asked them to send me to another doctor. And they did. And he was absolutely wonderful. So it
yeah,
wasn't me, it wasn't the other doctor, it was just him. And
mm,
he's a problem, not anybody else.
yeah, yeah. This is, I mean, really sad that how people can go to that level to actually hurt some other human being. It's uh, sometimes like I don't understand that how people can actually go to that level, but I think they do it for I don't know what is in their mind, which is not definitely they are mentally ill, mentally sick people, and it's so important that those red flags should not be ignored at all. Like whenever, especially in the relationship, when someone feels that if someone is too controlling or and if someone is isolating them something these are very serious red flags that should never ever be compromised, and whoever is going through it they should seek immediate help either from the family or from the friends, or because like the thing is that if we keep accepting those red flags, it's gonna hurt us back, because at the end of the day, it will come back to us. And God forbid, anything very dangerous or anything like serious can happen. So it's very, very important that we should never ever do that. To
Mhm.
do that, hopefully that people can just listen and they would not be compromising on that. Yeah.
That's right. And that's exactly why I do this, because for 20 some years, I thought I was the only one. And
Mm,
another thing that really hurts is when people tell you that you're not the only one that suffered trauma like this.
yeah.
And I look at them and say, no, I never believed that I was,
Yeah.
until, you know, for the first while, I thought I was the only one because nobody talked about it. But you
Yeah.
can imagine the shock and that I had when I saw that this was happening all over the world. I was
Mhm.
never alone. I just needed to find my tribe. I needed to find, you know, people that had gone through similar things as I had gone through to relate. You know, we're not the only ones. We're all over the world. There's millions of us. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I was looking at, you know, the stats for South Africa the other day, and
Mhm.
9,000 women were murdered last year.
Oh my
It
God,
was
9,000 is
nine,
really.
and this is why they had the day that they shut down the whole place. Like,
Oh.
is nobody listening? Like,
Mhm.
how can this be happening to our mothers, to our sisters, to our daughters?
Mhm.
You know, and nobody's saying anything. Thank God for all the advocates like all of us out there
Yeah.
that are trying to make a difference and fighting back.
Mhm.
Because, like, if we don't stop this, and how is this not an epidemic? Like,
Yeah.
how is this not, you know, how could they shut the world down for COVID?
Mhm.
Shut the, you know, shut it, stop this domestic violence from happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to understand. Like, something has to be done, and
Yeah.
obviously we're trying to do something, but
Mhm.
people higher up have to do
Mhm.
something about this. This is really, really serious.
Yes, this is very sad and this is serious. So just tell us that, what do you think that, especially for women who've been like maybe for maybe the woman who might be observing or maybe witnessing someone that is going through this, how they can help, or even if any woman who's been going through such kind of circle, what step they need to take to come out of that relationship? I mean, I know, like you mentioned, that they need to have certain kind of courage or something. But I know, well, like if someone has even the courage, what other steps they need to take? Like they need to, start either confronting the partner, or they need to seek help, or what exactly the strategy they need to follow to come out from that relationship.
If it was me this day and age, I would reach out to shelters. They
Mm-hmm.
are ready for you now. And you need like a safety plan.
Mm-hmm.
You need a safe person to be able to share with. And sometimes, you know, sometimes strangers is a lot better than people that are around you. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've noticed this a lot in my journey. You know, um, I think that we need to believe survivors,
Yeah.
and we need to protect them. And like I said, like I can't save the world, but I'm doing the little bit that I can do. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm always around for a chat, or somebody needs, you know, support. I can help. I'm not, you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a police officer, and I'm definitely not God. But I know that what I've been through, nobody else should go through. And I know we're scared, and we're scared because nobody believes us.
Yeah.
For me, that was a big part. I had all the proof, you know, the trial. My ex was put in prison. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand coercive control, but I think that's worse than anything else, because that kills you from the inside out. Uh,
Yeah.
Believe survivors, be there for them, and don't give up on them. Uh,
Mhm.
they leave and go back. And sometimes, it could be financial reasons.
Mhm.
It's hard for a woman to leave her home
Yeah.
with her children and not have anything to fall back on.
Yes.
It's hard for us financially, it's hard for us to leave. And most of the time, we don't have any money
Yes.
to leave, so we have to go back to our abusers. And that's
Mhm.
a really hard part. And,
Yeah.
I would never leave my kids behind if I could, I would bring my kids with me. But
Mhm.
the women that are going through family court,
Mhm.
men are actually using their kids as weapons against them. And like that, I think that's one of the worst. Like I didn't have to go through that, and I
Mhm.
wouldn't know what I would have done. But can
Yeah.
you imagine using
Mhm.
your kid against you? And a lot of, kids are killed in those situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm not sure what else I can say about this.
Yeah.
But it's quite the battle for all of us, for all of the
Yeah.
people that are victimized by this. And
Yeah.
there's so many different ways. There's so many ways that they get victimized that they give up, right? And
Yes. Yes, that's such a sad situation, and I know that lots and lots of women are trapped in these kind of, like, many women don't even say that because they don't have any place to go. As you said, that they don't have any financial security, they don't have any other place, and they even if they say, sometimes nobody listens.
that's
And but that's one thing that you said very beautifully, that sometimes the strangers are more supportive than the family members. So they
right.
need to believe, they need to find out that there are still people who are out there who are willing to help them. It's just a matter of keep on trying,
That's right.
because the thing is that they can't live with that kind of trauma. And many people, as you said, that they use children as against them, that because they think that they they just say that because of the children they need to survive and they need to stay in that kind of abusive relationship. But the most important thing is that if you're not mentally uh, happy or you're not peaceful, it's going to impact your children severely or even bad. So, like, staying in this kind of abusive relationship, just thinking that you are saving your children, that's not correct. It's the reason why, because it's going to have even worse impact on the kids staying in that kind of relationship. It's going to have bad impact on them. So for the sake of, like, of yourself, like, first and foremost is to have that understanding that you matter the most.
That's right.
And then when you are in, like, mentally physically healthy, only then you'll be able to take care of your kids and your family.
That's right.
And that's your right, and that's the right God has given to every person, every human in this world, that they need to fight for it. So I think this is something that is very, very important, that they need to recognize, and they need to realize that keep trying, find out. If they may find no one around them, but if they keep trying, if you keep searching for this, they will find at the end of the day, and they will find a way out, because sometimes the path is longer, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So
That's
I
right.
think this is the journey that they
Yeah.
need to embrace. Yeah.
And that's what I always say. Like your you matter, your voice matters, your life matters, and don't ever give up. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard, and maybe some of them will look at me and say it's easy for you to say, but I've been where you were, and you just never ever give up because you're really important and you're not alone. And it's like you said, reach out to somebody, and sometimes strangers are the best.
Yeah.
I think.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes, and it's it's something I would say interesting also, that sometimes when you have that thing that in your mind, that passion or that ambition in the mind, or when you set a certain goal, there will be some challenges, but you will find a way out. It's somehow that universe orchestrates some way. Somehow you find some people that they may be working towards on on this particular in area, and then you will find that help. It will be, you will get this connection from one person to another person. It's just a matter of just having that goal in the mind and keep on trying for that,
That's right.
and you will just get there. That's how it is, no matter what. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a hard battle. And even when you start this, like even when I started this, like nobody wanted to hear what I had to say, and everybody was talking behind my back and
yes,
asking me what did I think I was going to do with this, and
yeah,
where did I think I was going, and it wasn't going to do anything, and it wasn't going to make a difference and stuff. And you know what? It is making a difference.
mhm,
And get up and keep pushing. And it's like you said, there's always somebody out there that can
yeah,
help you. And yeah, I know that I'll never give up. If, it's like I said a while ago, if I would have just laid down and just died, it would have been a lot easier than getting up and fighting. But there's no
yeah,
way I was going to get up and fight because there's no way I was going to give up because I had fought too hard to get to where I was.
yeah, I
um,
know.
Giving up was not an option for me.
Yeah,
And
I know, it's giving up is easy, but the thing is that it just gives you pain. That's it. It doesn't have, it's a roadblock. When you give up, nothing's gonna happen. But if you keep trying, there are chances that you may end up getting what you want. So I think it's worth a try, definitely. So I know
because
we can, yeah, sorry, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, if we don't speak our truth and we don't get all of that trauma out, and the only way to heal is talking about it. And if
Yeah,
we don't get all that trauma out, then we start getting physically sick. Like I've dealt with, like I had cancer, all kinds of things. And I still got up and fought every day.
yeah,
And I just want people to know that it's doable. We can do this.
yeah,
And I had to fight my own demons, like my own brain. Like I had, because being so sick, like half of the time I didn't even know where I was. And today, like I still, it's still hard for me to get out of bed, and I still struggle every day. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. Some weeks I don't want to get out of bed. But there's, something higher power than me that makes me get out of bed. And I think the naysayers just fuel my fire. So when they tell me I can't do it, I'm going to do it twice and take
yeah.
pictures. And this is what I do every day.
Yes, you are such an inspiration in that. That like I see every time that you're doing lots and lots of work for the women, for all those women to save their lives, and that's such a noble thing. It's really, it's this is the kind of work that we need in this world, because we can talk a lot about lots of different things, but these are the topics that needs to be actually talked about.
Yeah,
It's the only way to actually reduce the kind of taboo and reduce this whatever the negativity attached to it. So people can actually start talking about it. They don't feel shame that, okay, if something like this happened to them, it's not their fault.
that's right.
Definitely not their fault. It's just somehow they need to live the life as it is given to them from the God. It's meant to be like to achieve their potential at the best. So I think that's how we can do it, and you are doing it so beautifully.
Thank
So
you so
yeah,
much. I'm so honored to be here with you.
thank you. Thank you so much. I know we can actually go on and on. This is maybe we can do another episode on that. But so just tell us that what is the best way if somebody wants to reach out to you? I know you're very active on LinkedIn also, but what is the other way?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on
Okay.
Instagram. I'm
Okay.
on Facebook. I have my own Facebook page.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Yeah. And my website, I have a
Yeah,
website. It's empowerment,
yeah,
Colette,
yeah.
ColetteMartinEmpowerment.com or
Mhm.
Colette.com. And
Yeah,
yeah, and I'll always answer. You
yeah,
know, sometimes it takes me a little bit, but I get messages every day from multiple women and
yeah.
even sometimes men. And the beauty of this is that men are listening right now. And I have so many male allies that are trying to help me out with this.
Mhm.
And I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think that
That's amazing that like you're helping every day so many women. So yes. So I know this is we are almost at the end of the show. So what one piece of advice would you like to give to women to protect their lives from these kind of narcissists?
reach out for help. Tell
Mm,
somebody. There's
mm,
always somebody out there to help you. And you can always reach out to me. Uh, I'll share resources. I
yeah.
can't save I can't save the world, but I have a lot of resources that I can share with others that may help. I have connections all over the world.
Mhm.
I helped a woman from Papua New Guinea get her life
Oh,
back through my connections in
yeah.
Australia. So, we have far reach now today with social media and stuff. Like we can do Zoom meetings or we can have a
Yeah.
chat. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm always willing to talk and just be there to support others.
Yeah. Yes, wonderful advice. Yeah, if anyone is like going through any kind of trauma, abuse, or something, they can reach out to Colette, or even if they can reach out to me. I know there are lots of women here also. They reach out to me for help, and I do provide lots of counseling and help in any way that I can. And I do run kind of a like empowerment group here, so we do give some kind of advice, and it's not only related to the uh, domestic abuse or something, it's like in general. So anyways, if anyone wants to reach out, please reach out to Colette through the website or through or any social media. She's very active. If you want to reach out to me, I'm always there, because this is such a noble cause that we are saving lives. And it's not only lives, I would just say that we are saving generations, because the trauma doesn't end there. It passed on to like the persons, like to the kids and the other kinds of generations. So we need to stop this generational trauma, and we need to talk more about and help women and help other people around us. So anyways, so thank you so much, Colette, for sharing your story, sharing the courage with other women today. I
Thank
know that it's
you.
very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks to all those who are listening. And thank you, and have a great day.